Hey friends, welcome to the channel. If you want to know what I've been up to in 530 hours of learning Dutch so far and how my first real speaking session went, keep watching. Los geht's! My name is Dustin. I'm an IT project manager from Germany. On this channel we create content that helps us be more productive, to learn new things, especially languages, and to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Today I want to give you again a quick update about my Dutch learning, and we'll start with what I've done in detail, then how much time I've spent in total, how my experiences were speaking Dutch, including my first real speaking session. And last but not least, we also have a look at what the next steps are, taking into account improvements and learnings. Let's dive into today's hour. First, a nice sip of tea today. Let's dive into today's topic. As you can see here again, I've made some progress with my goals, but there's still lots to do, and also I've been again procrastinating on the shadowing exercises. And also I haven't started with some other things I've planned before, unfortunately. Let's start first with what you can see here, which is that I also do daily for a few minutes Anki flashcards to get in some high frequency words and also phrases that I found useful journaling from time to time. Now let's come to the goals that I've achieved since the last update I've made. I've watched 2 more films about the Second World War in Dutch with Dutch subtitles. It's very interesting to get the Dutch perspective on the war and also what has been going on. But of course it's also disturbing. The first movie has been The Resistance Banker, or in Dutch, Bankier van het Verzet, that is based on the banker Walraven van Hal, who financed the Dutch resistance during the war. It has won many prizes and is very well made. If you are interested in history, I can definitely recommend this one. The second movie is called The Forgotten Battle, or in Dutch, De Slag om de Schelde. It is about the Battle of the Scheldt in 1944 and shows all the sides. The main characters are a Dutch ex-soldier, a British pilot, and a woman from Zealand. And it's very intense and shows clearly that in a war there are only losers on all sides. It had a huge budget for a Dutch movie of 14 million euro, and also Tom Felton had a role in this film. He played Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter, from there you should know him. I can also recommend this one highly. And then I've listened to another audiobook from Esther Perel, Erotische Intelligentie, which is about sexuality, relationships and psychology. I've read that already a while ago in German, but now I've listened to it in Dutch. But it has been fairly easy, since it doesn't have an abstract language like most novels have. I also not only achieved the 20,000 known words within LingQ, but already the 30,000, which went faster than expected. For that I've read and watched all the Dutchies to be videos by Kim after I've imported them to LingQ, as well as kept up with the weekly videos by Easy Dutch. Also, I fought my way through the Babbel course, French to Dutch, or at least the content in the official course. But I have to say that this hasn't been that fruitful. To use French to learn Dutch from, to also work on my French has been rather complicated, and I could have achieved more in less time by just using German or English, which is already way closer to the Dutch language. Anyway, it has been a good opportunity to test Babbel in depth, and I've also made a test video here, if you are interested. I've also built a conversation script to prepare myself for the first Dutch conversation, but I didn't study it in detail. It has been more to sort my thoughts a bit. A script of that kind can be very basic, also more detailed. This time I tried the detailed version, and then I've also had my very first full-length conversation of 1 hour on italki. Before that I've already spoken with friends in Dutch, but never for such a time period. The last goal I've just reached has been to listen through all podcast episodes from Universiteit van Nederland, which are by now around 600 and has taken me a long time. If you're looking for comprehensible input in Dutch, definitely try it out. You'll find a huge variety of science-based topics from psychology over sociology to biology, physics and more. They also have a YouTube channel. In 2022 I've started to learn Dutch and spent 159 hours, and in 2023 I've spent in total 340 hours learning Dutch. This year so far I've spent about 33 hours, which makes in total almost about 532 hours. This time I've spent doing the previously mentioned activities, which were still mainly reading and listening exercises. Haven't done too much speaking except when I got the occasion, but I also did my first 1 hour long conversation with a teacher online, as mentioned earlier, which brings us to the next point. So I booked my first lesson with a teacher on italki from Suriname. Suriname is a former colony of the Netherlands, and thus they speak there also Dutch. Dutch lessons are in general a bit more expensive because of the high salary level in the Netherlands, but there are Dutch teachers from all over the world, also the former colonies and overseas regions as mentioned. Don't get me wrong, it's okay to pay more for a good teacher, but in the end you also need to be able to afford it. What's also nice about that is that you can get an exposure to different accents, to be able to understand the whole bandwidth of Dutch. I plan to also talk with teachers from the Netherlands, Belgium and Curaçao, Sint Maarten and Aruba. It's super interesting to learn more about different countries and get more perspectives on the world. For example, when talking to my teacher from Suriname, I've learned a lot about the current situation in the country and how life there is. That's a closer perspective than what you usually read when you follow the media, with the high inflation and how people cope with that, as well as that many people migrate away from there in search for a better life. Also, we talked about the colonial past and the atrocities that have been inflicted on the native people living there. This way, the time just flew by during the session. Let's keep it short. I can just watch, read and listen to all kind of different stuff that is not learning content but actually meant to be for native speakers of Dutch. I don't get tired anymore when reading something, which is also a good sign that my brain has gotten used to the language. Also, I'm watching movies and series with subtitles, but probably I could also turn them off while still understanding the majority. Still, I haven't read my first paper book, and also I didn't focus so far on really complex or abstract content. I just started speaking and definitely can get along, but I need to work on getting regular practice in order to be able to access the high frequency words quickly within a conversation. Once that is okay, I can focus on specific areas and do drills as well as learning specific structures that I want to reuse. The pronunciation should also be okay, but there's still room for improvement. If you want to see me speaking, there's a video that I made with Max and you can watch it here. I already said that the last time, but I want to start writing again, this time for real. And I have just started this morning and I will keep doing it for 30 days in a row. If you're interested in how I'm doing that, have a look here. Into the same direction goes the point to do speaking exercises alone, which I'll probably abandon. For Dutch, this isn't really necessary and I can't get myself motivated to do it. I'd rather have now real conversations and get real-time feedback. Plans change and it's hard to anticipate how things will go. I've started again with the shadowing exercises, but then I couldn't keep them up. Even while it's very effective, I had a hard time to make time and sit down to actually do it because it's very intense. It requires my full focus. So in order to succeed here, I need to make time. Yet I have no idea when. I got a conversation script and had my first conversation as mentioned, and now I need to follow up on that and have at least 9 more to reach my goal of having spoken for 10 hours. Normally I aim for 100 hours of speaking, but for Dutch I think less will already bring great results. Of course, this won't be enough for real fluency, but I should get along well. I'm also finishing up the book that I'm currently reading as mentioned earlier. And still on my list is to read about the history of the Netherlands and especially also the Dutch language. For that, these two beasts are still waiting for me to be read. Grote, Geschiedenis van de Nederlandse Taal. Great history of the Dutch language. This year I'll also be on vacation with friends of ours in the Netherlands and they also speak Dutch. Well, he's even from the Netherlands. This would be a great opportunity to get some real-life exposure and learn more about the country. Other than that, I have no plan to pick up any new topics until I haven't finished the stuff that's already on my list. Stop starting and start finishing is the motto. Maybe I won't be able to resist buying another book while I'm in the Netherlands, but we'll see. Is there any that you can recommend that one should have read in a lifetime? Please let me know in the comments. I've also got more videos about learning Dutch here if you're interested, or if you want to see me speaking Dutch, there's a video here. If you found the video useful, please leave me a like, hit a subscription to the channel, and to not miss anything going forward, click also on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching and see you the next time.